It's time for Oskaloosa Baseball on your home for the Indians. 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN and all over the world at RadioKMZN.com. Oskaloosa Baseball is presented by Craig Ford, Mahaska Bottling Company, Fairway Stores, Mahaska Drug, Bank Iowa, Bruxford's Decorating Center, Dr. Tom Bowie, Gardner Collier Jewelry, Hawkeye Real Estate, Community First Credit Union, Musco, Pella Printing, William Penn University, TD&T Financial Group, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Clow Valve Company, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Lighton State Bank, Penn Central Mall, Fred's Muffler Shop, and Robert Ald Investments. It's time for Oskaloosa Baseball on the No Coast Network. 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN and all over the world at RadioKMZN.com.
You are looking live at our brand spanking new infield here at the Oskaloosa High School baseball field. My name is Emery Sunger, and I'm going to be joining you tonight to give you all the action of the first home games of the season for the Oskaloosa baseball team as they take on their close rival from the south, the Ottumwa Bulldogs. The Oskaloosa Indians enter at 2-0 in the young season. Ottumwa enters at 0-2. Thanks so much for joining us. You are watching us live on Channel 7 on MCG. You're also watching us on KBOEradio.com. You can also hear us on 99.5 FM, AM 740, KMZN, all over the world on RadioKMZN.com. We mentioned that we have plenty of good action that we're going to be bringing you here this evening. But first and foremost, we have to take a look at that field as you're looking straight at it. Ottumwa continues their warm-up. The infield has been completely redone. They now have grass over the baselines going toward first and third base, and allows for much easier to keep the field in good condition. On top of that, the infield has been completely leveled out, dropped about 18 inches or so. It took a lot of work, but this field looks fantastic. Also, everything behind home plate's brand new. The mound is brand new. So this field is one of the tip-top fields that you're going to be seeing all season long here on the Oskaloosa baseball slate. Ottumwa comes in. They gave Oskaloosa fits last year as a team that had high hopes for themselves. They finished the season 22-19 in Class 4A a year ago, and they brought back a lot of their major contributors from last year, but lost a few guys that were big bats and a couple of guys that did very well for them in the pitching scene as well. And they are going to be without their ace, Austin Schatz, who pitched 9 innings against Urbandale earlier this week. Ottumwa lost a couple of close ones, 3-1 and 2-0 to Urbandale on Monday. Oskaloosa, they got their season started yesterday against Knoxville on the road, as heard right here on KMZN. The scores 5-1 and 10-3. The Oskaloosa Indians looking strong out of the gates in the early going. We'll go ahead and take our first break of the evening. When we come back, we'll get you the starting lineups for both of these teams and try to figure out exactly what we're going to be seeing from this Oskaloosa team that has such high expectations as they try to make a run to Principal Park with a fantastic ball club. When we return right after this, it's Oskaloosa Baseball on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Center Mall, Oskaloosa.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities. Where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success. Where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and beyond. Whether commercial, residential, or land, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be the area's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxfort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Welcome back. We are live at the Oskaloosa High School Baseball Diamond. Emery Songer with you, and the Ottumwa Bulldogs continue their infield warm-ups. And as they continue to do that, let's go ahead and dig into our lineups for this evening's first game. It is a doubleheader in non-conference action between Ottumwa and Oskaloosa. A cool little rivalry you got here in baseball this season. Oskaloosa looking for some revenge, as last year these two teams played. They only got one full game in before the rains came down at American Legion Field down in Ottumwa, but with that being the case, Ottumwa definitely was putting it on Oskaloosa in the second game after they defeated Oski in the first game as well. So Oskaloosa wants to try to get some revenge for last year's showing against these Bulldogs and head coach John Yeager. For Clint Gingrich, he's going to be looking at this lineup from his opponent. The Ottumwa Bulldogs will be sending their center fielder, a junior, Nick Batterson, to lead off. It'll be Trayton Larkin, the junior shortstop, batting second. Austin Schatz, the senior third baseman, will bat third. He's also going to be their ace pitcher, but we will not see him throw here this evening. We'll get to the pitching rules for 2017 in the state of Iowa in just a little bit. It'll be the pitcher for this evening, batting cleanup, the junior Jalen Jones. He'll be followed in the 5 spot by left fielder, senior Alec Hensley. The junior catcher, Tyler Ward, bats 6th. The senior first baseman is Wyatt Crosby. In the 8th spot, it's Chris Hensley. He's a senior at second base, with Dalton Bowers rounding out the 9 in the order. He is a senior right fielder for head coach John Yeager and the Bulldogs, who enter at 0-2 on the year. For Coach Gingrich, he's going to be sending these 9 out to try to get the job done against the Bulldogs in game number 1. It is senior Bennett Spry playing second base and leading off for the Indians. The junior third baseman is Nick Harrington. He bats second. Ethan Arnold's a senior first baseman, batting third. The DH in tonight's first game is the junior Blake Van Veldhuizen. He is going to be batting for the right fielder, junior Charlie Banstra. The number 5 hitter is Peyton Krause. The senior will be throwing. He'll be towing the rubber much like he did for his only pitching outing of 2016 against Ottumwa. Ottumwa was in control against Peyton Krause at the plate, and he definitely wants to see some of these hitters after that performance a year ago. After him in the order, it is Alex DeYoung batting in the 6th spot. The junior shortstop has had a progressive bat as his career has gone on since he started at shortstop as a freshman. The number 7 hitter is the left fielder, junior Tucker Nunnikoven. The junior catcher is Keaton DeCock batting 8th, and Seth Sarver, the senior center fielder, bats in the 9th spot. We mentioned Banstra. Charlie Banstra Jr. in right field will not be batting in the order in tonight's first game. A lot of new faces, a lot of new guys in that dugout, but not too many guys that have not played for Oskaloosa. The only guy they lost from last year's squad was Joe Sterner, who was the right fielder and ended up being a great workhorse on the mound for the Indians. In fact, last season was second on the team with 44 1/3 innings pitched, just 1/3 of an inning less than Ryan Yates had on the season. He went 6-1 with a 1.89 ERA, an unbelievable year for a guy that a lot of people thought was an afterthought coming in as a pitcher for Oskaloosa. And he held opponents to one of the team's best with a .227 opponent's batting average against, and he led the way with 37 strikeouts to just 21 walks. So that is definitely the one spot that Sterner is going to be missed. He also was clutch in the hitting departments as well, but Oskaloosa does have plenty of good bats in this order, and they will be going up against Jalen Jones, the junior. Last year, Jones, as a pitcher, sophomore, went 4-1 with 28 innings of work, a 2.25 ERA, very solid. Opponents hitting only 175 against him, 30 strikeouts, 16 walks. Definitely a guy that Ottumwa was hoping kind of blossoms into a really solid number 2 behind ace pitcher Austin Schatz, who pitched an awful lot in the first game of the season, 9 innings of work. He did not allow an earned run, did allow 1 unearned run, and opponents hitting only 156 against him, but we will not see him tonight because there are new pitching rules in the state of Iowa, and it is fairly complex. They have an entire sheet that is dedicated for it, and it's going to be very difficult for people who don't take care of pitch counts to maybe understand why certain players are getting pulled at certain times of the game, but a lot of it has to do with strategy moving forward. Coach Gingrich, in his efforts to try to explain it to myself prior to the game, for the most part, the idea is you want your players, if you can, to keep under 65 pitches. That will allow them only 2 days of rest. The idea is for sophomores, juniors, and seniors, if you throw less than 25 pitches or roughly 1 inning of work, if you're able to make quick work of that inning, you do not have to take a day of rest. 1 day of rest for those players if they throw in between 26 and 40 pitches. 2 days of rest between 41 and 65 pitches, which seems to be kind of the magic number Coach Gingrich is trying to be able to match up with each and every week this season. His outings, he'd like to keep his pitchers under 65 pitches per game. 3 days of rest between 66 and 90 pitches, and if you go over 90 pitches, 91 to 110 pitches, 4 days of rest. When the pitcher reaches 110 pitches, he cannot pitch to another batter. He can only finish pitching to the batter he is currently facing. For 8th and 9th graders, if they are out there and throwing, which you might see every once in a while, no rest for 1 to 25, 2 days rest, or 1 day of rest from 26 to 40, 3 days rest from 41 to 65. The difference, 3 days rest from 66 to 90, but after 90 pitches, they cannot throw anymore. Then the idea, the sophomores, juniors, and seniors can only throw 180 pitches total in any 1 week of baseball. 8th and 9th graders can only throw 150 pitches in any 1 week. The week is Sunday through Saturday. So if that would be the case, it is going to be very, as mentioned, it's going to be difficult for us to kind of keep track of that at first to start the season, but overall we expect this to be a situation where Oskaloosa is going to definitely be in good control because they have so many different guys that they can throw out there and pitch. Last year was no different. Obviously, you're missing Joe Sterner, but players that are new to the ball club this year, like Charlie Banstra, Tyler Miller, there's a lot of different guys that can come in and maybe address that situation, as the lineups are currently being announced over the PA system here. I'd like to also mention that this is just our first of several broadcasts we'll have all season long, mainly on radio for Oskaloosa. And unfortunately, we can't do video for too many of those, too many variables with the location of a lot of baseball diamonds. We'll have 3 games, including tonight, that will be on video on Channel 7 on MCG and also on RadioKMZN.com with a live video stream. But we will have the typical radio broadcast throughout the year for both baseball and softball, and that will be something that we'll continue as the season progresses. That will include this Friday as the Oskaloosa Indian baseball team will be taking on Winterset on the road. John Hurl will be on the call for that one. Along with that, we will have a game of the week, which will involve softball for Linville Sully and North Mahaska. Should be an intriguing little matchup there as North Mahaska continues to try to break through that glass ceiling and get into the top echelon of the South Iowa Cedar League. That will be coming up with our next broadcast you'll hear on the No Coast Network coming up on Friday evening. As the starting lineups continue to be announced here for Oskaloosa, this is the home opener. We mentioned brand new field in terms of the grass, the replacement of the mound, the home plate area. They have planted grass along the baselines, makes it much easier to take care of the field. But before we go any farther, let's go ahead and take a listen in to our national anthem. Star Spangled Banner, a great way to get a baseball night underway here in Oskaloosa as the Indians will take the field. They're wearing their white home uniforms with the maroon trim. Indians across the chest in maroon numbers front and back with the maroon sleeves. They have the white pants with the maroon belt. A couple of the players wearing the high maroon stirrup-styled socks that have the white stripes up around the calf. For Ottumwa, they'll be wearing their typical red uniforms with the white trim, white Ottumwa along the front, white numbers on the front and back with white panel up around the back neck area with charcoal gray pants with the white lining. A lot of the players wearing the red shoes as well with red helmets. Oski going to be wearing their typical ball caps with the maroon cap, the white front panel, the big maroon O on the front with the maroon bill. Always excited to bring you a new season, whether it be fall, winter, spring, or summer. Very exciting that we'll be able to bring you what should be one of the best summer seasons Oskaloosa will have enjoyed. Oskaloosa, not only have they done very well recently in both softball and baseball, of course the softball team coming on the heels of winning a state championship in Class 4A in 2016, but Oskaloosa's baseball team last season going 24-11, and they will be looking to try to improve on that record this year. Little Hawkeye Conference not going to make it easy. The non-conference schedule not going to make it easy either, but one thing that is for certain, this team will be around as the season wears on, and this new pitching rules where it's going to have to be kind of a by-committee thing if you want to keep your arms fresh, going to be able to use them week to week. And head coach Clint Gainers couldn't ask for a better stable of arms to start the 2017 season. And this is our first look at Peyton Krause to start this particular campaign. And stepping to the plate to start tonight's action is the junior center fielder Nick Batterson for Ottumwa. Now, we mentioned Ottumwa 0-2 to start the season. The offensive numbers not great to start the year. Just batting 100 as a team. They bat 278 as a squad last year. Did lose 3 major contributors. 4 seniors last year who played quite a bit, to be honest. As the right-handed batter faces the lefty Krause, and the first pitch is inside for ball 1. Along with Batterson, Trayton Larkin, and Austin Schatz are the guys that are going to be due up here in this top of the first inning to face Peyton Krause. Krause winds and fires, and this ball popped into left field. That is Nunnikoven ranging toward the gap, makes the catch for the first out of the inning, and a good start for Peyton Krause, 1 away. The junior shortstop Trayton Larkin now will take his turn at the plate here in the top of the first. Right-handed batter facing off against Krause. In the early going this season, 7 at-bats, no hits. Only 6 hits were accumulated in the first doubleheader of the season, 3 of which came from Austin Schatz, who's in the on-deck circle for Ottumwa, as the first pitch just misses for ball 1. 1 out, nobody on. Here's a ground ball over to the left side, and this is going to be fielded by the third baseman Harrington. A nice, strong throw across the diamond in time. And quickly 2 away here for Krause. This is a good start against a team he definitely wants to prove his mettle against after having a struggling outing last year and never really got back into the rotation for pitching-wise. Definitely played an excellent year, not only at the plate in the middle of the Oskaloosa batting order, but while he was over at first base, I don't think there was a better defensive first baseman in the state last year from what we saw. As the first pitch in there for a strike. This is Austin Schatz, the senior third baseman. Schatz comes in, batting .500, went 3 for 6 in the first doubleheader of the year against Urbandale, a good Urbandale team. As he takes that pitch for a ball, 1-1. The Divas behind Krause. In the outfield, Tucker Nunnikoven in left, Seth Sarver in center with Charlie Banstra in right. As that pitch in the dirt, 2-1. Nick Harrington's at third with Alex DeYoung at short, Bennett Spry at second, Ethan Arnold at first, and Keaton DeCock behind the plate for the lefty Peyton Krause. Krause winds in the 2-1 delivery on the way. This is a chopper, and that is just foul. It'll stay down here, and 2-2 is the count with the opposing pitcher Jalen Jones on deck. Should Schatz reach base to extend this top of the first frame. The 2-2 going to be on the way from Krause. We mentioned his defense. A lot of that has to do with just being able to pick out some wild, errant throws from his infielders. was unbelievable last year as the big hook comes in outside, and the count is 3-2. Austin Schatz trying to work his way on base. Here's the payoff, and there's a hard hit line drive out in the left field. Nunnikoven and a diving catch toward the line to retire the side. Tucker Nunnikoven showing off his range in left field, and it robs extra bases from Austin Schatz. And after a half inning of play, it is Oskaloosa going to come to the plate in a scoreless tie right after this on the No Coast Network.
Lighton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Lighton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Lighton State Bank, serving you from Lighton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
Warming up Jalen Jones for Ottumwa as we start play here in the bottom of the first inning. We appreciate you for joining us here on RadioKMZN.com. If you're looking for any racing action this season, you can check it out over on Wednesday nights, much like tonight over at Southern Iowa Speedway. You can check it out by going to 104.9 FM, KBOE, and KBOEradio.com. First time up for Bennett Spry to start tonight's action, and he shows bunt, pulls back, and takes the ball from Jalen Jones, the right-hander. Jones comes in. We mentioned hasn't thrown yet this year, but a 4-1 record, a very impressive 2.25 ERA. Struck out 30. Opponents hit only 175 against him. There's a nice little bunt right back to Jones. Jones quickly to first base in time. Good, excellent play by Jones with all the speed that Spry has getting down that first base line. Goes 1-3. That'll bring up the junior Nick Harrington. Harrington got off to a good start. 4 for 6 at the plate in the first 2 games of the year, also with the runs scored, batting .667. He also drew a couple of walks. Right-handed batter takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. One and one the count here to Harrington. The windup from Jones, the righty, facing the right-hander, Harrington, and it's at the knees for a strike. 1-2. 1 out, nobody on. To the Indian third baseman. The long look in, now the windup and the pitch from Jones. Bounces in there. Good block, even though nobody's on base here from Tyler Ward behind the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes. And base is empty. 1 out recorded. And the pitch. And it's a ground ball. Chopper over to short. It'll be fielded by Larkin. Long throw across the diamond. Nice dig over at first by Wyatt Crosby. And that will be the second out of the inning. Defensively last year, if you're looking at the Ottumwa Bulldogs, a .938 fielding percentage. That is almost exactly what Oskaloosa had last year at .939. 2 very good defensive teams as well. They can pitch it, they can hit it. It's going to be a hard-fought doubleheader for both of these squads. 2 outs and nobody on for the first baseman, the senior Ethan Arnold. Arnold was a huge piece of the puzzle last year, figures to be again this year. A big-time bat. Last year led the way with a .441 average with 3 homers and a team-high 35 RBIs as he takes ball 1. He went 2 for 6 with a couple of doubles last night as he hits this kind of off the end of the bat. A little bloop. It'll fall in front of the center fielder, Nick Batterson, for the first hit of the night for Oskaloosa. So it wasn't a hard hit, but it finds space out in the outfield, and that'll be the first hit of the game for either side. Arnold finds himself at first base with the big, burly Blake Van Veldhuizen, the junior DH, batting in the cleanup spot. And he is going to be followed by Peyton Krause should he reach. Van Veldhuizen hitting for the right fielder, junior Charlie Banstra. Van Veldhuizen 2 for 8, a couple of RBIs last night in the doubleheader against Knoxville. Last season, as he was kind of a late call-up, really got a lot more action as the season wore on and hit .306 as a sophomore. The junior right-hander digs in and has that bat wiggling over his right shoulder. Takes a strike on the inside corner from Jalen Jones, 0-1. Oh and 1 the count, 2 outs, and runner on first. Covering is Crosby. Here's the pitch. That's inside. One ball, one strike with 2 outs. Taking a peek over is Jones. Kicks and fires. This is a ground ball left side. Nice diving play by the shortstop. Long throw across the diamonds in time. What a play. Trayton Larkin in the hole at shortstop. A dive to his right and from his knee threw him out at first base. Excellent defense both sides to start this ball game. We are scoreless through 1. We'll take another short break. Come back with the second inning right after this. Oski Baseball on the No Coast Network.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Wake up to your favorite local programming and the best variety of classic hits. Tune in for Bob's Morning Brew from 6 to 11 on KMZN with artists like Journey, The Beatles, and Stevie Wonder. Today's news and yesterday's hits call 99.5 FM and 740 AM KMZN home, along with Oskaloosa Sports. On Sundays, tune in to Central United Methodist Church at 9 a.m. and Oops, I Missed Church at 3. 99.5 FM and 740 AM KMZN. Oskaloosa's home for today's news and yesterday's hits.
Welcome back. It's the second inning. Oskaloosa out in the field after a fantastic defensive play coming from the shortstop for Ottumwa, Trayton Larkin, diving into the hole. A couple of fantastic diving plays, one for each team. Nunnekova making a diving catch down the left field line for the third out of the top half of the first. And then for Ottumwa, in the bottom half of the first, the outstanding diving play to the right by the shortstop, Trayton Larkin, and then a great throw from his knee to retire Blake Van Veldhuizen. So that'll bring up the opposing pitcher for Peyton Krause. He delivers a strike call on the outside corner to the right-handed batting Jalen Jones. Jones, so far this season, only one at-bat, 0 for 1, but is batting in the cleanup spot to start tonight in game number 1 as he takes a bouncer outside. 1-1 the count. Again, this is the top of the second. Thanks for joining us. You're listening to us on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. This has popped out to the right side. Long run, and that'll fall in there for a base hit as the right fielder Banster can't get to it. And a perfectly placed bloop down the right field line by Jalen Jones for the game's first hit for the Bulldogs. And the leadoff man is aboard. We'll see if Jones is going to be replaced by a courtesy runner here. He is indeed going to be. Into a run for him is Riley Robinson, a senior. Robinson at first, and Alec Hensley, the senior left fielder, is the number 5 hitter in the order and is up with nobody out and a runner on at first. Just a short lead by Robinson. The first pitch popped up into shallow left center field. Nunnekova and the center fielder Seth Sarver are there, and Sarver is going to be the one who makes the play for the first out of this top of the second inning. One out with a runner on at first with Tyler Ward, the catcher, the junior, coming up. Ward 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts and a walk drawn in the first meeting. A first pitch right back up the middle, nearly took the head off of the umpire. Nice play by Spry right up the middle, a wide throw, but they got him. What a great play. They're going to give him the call. It looked like Arnold was stretched to keep that right foot stuck to that first base bag. The first base umpire the first base coach, I should say, for Ottumwa looked like he was signaling that he was off the bag. The umpire had to duck out of the way as that ball came right over his head. Right back up the middle. Spry showing outstanding range up the middle. Made a fantastic play over to first base just to make it close, and Arnold did the rest, digging out a low throw and keeping his foot on the bag to get that second call. That second out called. Robinson did advance to second base as the first pitch is a ball to the number 7 hitter, Wyatt Crosby. Excellent defense being displayed here from both sides here in the early going of this first game of our doubleheader. The 1-0 on the way is in there for a strike, 1-1. Crosby got one of the 6 hits that Ottumwa was able to muster against that tough Urbandale pitching that they had to see on Monday. He did also reach base via a hit by pitch as there's a big swing by Crosby, 1-2 the count. Robinson takes his lead from second, 1-2 the count with 2 outs. Scoreless game, top of the second inning. The lefty, Kraus, kicks, fires, and swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will retire the side. First strikeout for Kraus, as he gets Crosby on strikes swinging. And after an inning and a half, we are still scoreless. Oski will come to the plate after this right here on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early. Illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Oskaloosa coming to the plate as they will be taking on Ottumwa for this bottom of the second inning. Some great defense being flashed by both sides in the early going. We mentioned that. And that's one thing that sometimes it takes a little time to see the defense really amp up to high quality as Peyton Kraus chops the first pitch foul he sees from Jalen Jones, 0-1. We mentioned some diving plays in that first inning. Well, what a play by Bennett Spry up the middle. Unbelievable play by Spry to get the second out of the inning against Ottumwa in the top of this second inning. This one, well inside. Kraus turns on it, but too quick. Fouls it off. 0-2 the count to him. Number 5 hitter is Kraus. He'll be followed by Alex DeYoung and Tucker Nunakoven in this Oskaloosa order. 0-2 the count. Nobody out, nobody on. Here in the bottom of this second inning. Jones winds and fires. Well high and away. 1-2. Oski in action last night. We mentioned against Knoxville on the road, 5-1, 10-3. 2 big wins for Oski. And we're able to maintain keeping those pitchers fresh as there's a ground ball over to short, fielded by Larkin. A couple of pats on the glove, throws in plenty of time to get Kraus. 3 assists already in the game for Trayton Larkin over at shortstop as he has been a busy man. And that'll bring up the counterpart to Larkin, Oski's shortstop, junior Alex DeYoung. DeYoung progressively has gotten better throughout his career at the plate, and that includes last year batting .270 by the end of the season with 10 RBIs. Also was 10 for 13 in steals. The strikeout number of 18 with only 11 walks is something he's going to be continuing to try to work on as he takes a strike here, 0-1. Here is the windup and the delivery. And that ball is a line drive out in the left field. Coming on and making a nice running catch and sliding at the end is Alec Hensley for the second hit. Or the second out, rather, of the inning. The weather has been cloudy, a little bit of blue sky kind of showing right now. A little bit of sprinkling as the day has wore on, but beautiful baseball weather right now. Nunnekoven digs in. And big curveball gets away from the catcher, Ward, but still was good enough to get the strike called for strike one from the home plate umpire. 0-1 the count. Jones, a long look in. Accepts the sign. Now will go through his windup and deliver. That one bounces in there. 1-1 the count. Keaton DeCock on deck should Nunnekoven find a way to get on base. Nunnekoven did go 2 for 5. A couple of walks and then 2 stolen bases. It's part of Gingrich ball, as I like to call it. A lot of aggressive base running. You'll see once guys get on base. Is that just off the outside corner? 2-1. Nunnekoven last year, another guy that got hot through the middle of the season, ended up batting .300 with a .358 on base percentage and had 19 driven in. His strikeout number is also something he can work on. He only struck out 21 times with only 8 walks. Something that can definitely be improved this season as he is now up in the count 3-1. The delivery, that's a hard line drive over to left. Diving attempt and a snow cone catch by Alec Hensley, the left fielder, robbing his counterpart, Tucker Nunnekoven, for the third out of the inning. The defense unreal between these two ball clubs to start here in the first 2 innings of this game. We'll take a break. Come back. We'll have inning number 3 for you. Still scoreless between Ottumwa and Oskaloosa in baseball on the No Coast Network.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Center Mall, Oskaloosa.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Here we are back at the Oskaloosa High School baseball field. Brand new grass, brand new mound, brand new grass in between the baselines. Brand new home plate area as well. And it'll be 8-9-1 for Peyton Krause, as he'll be facing Chris Hensley, Dalton Bowers, and Nick Batterson. The 3 Bulldogs due up here in the top of the third. Scoreless here in the first of 2 games we'll have for you tonight. You're watching us live also on RadioKMZN.com. 1-0 the count to Hensley, the second baseman. The other Hensley, Alec Hensley, made a couple of very nice plays in that last half inning out in left field for the Bulldogs. There's a called strike, 1-1. Chris Hensley did get another hit. Went 1 for 6 in that doubleheader against Urbandale. That pitch misses, 2-1. Ottumwa, we mentioned, can pitch it, they can hit it. They did bring back quite a bit of their fantastic players. I'm missing Parker Throde, who was a major contributor both pitching and batting last season, but this should still be a team that threatens or surpasses 20 wins. This popped up, should be playable. It is Krause. He's got it right in the middle of the diamond, makes the play for the out, 1 away. 1 out, nobody on. A lot of times you hear people say, to that pitcher, just get out of the way, let your fielders do it. But Keaton DeCock, the catcher, had no idea where it was, and there was no chance for either Harrington or the shortstop, DeYoung, to be able to get there to make that play as close to home plate as Krause ended up making the catch, as the first pitch is swung on and missed by Dalton Bowers, 0-1. Dalton Bowers went 0 for 4 in the first night of action. Nice little line drive, snatched out of the air by Bennett Spry. With that being the case, quickly 2 away once again for Krause, and he'll be right back to the top of this order. Nick Batterson, the junior center fielder, digging in for Ottumwa, head coach Don Yeager. And try to see if he can't get a couple more guys on base against Krause here, make him pitch out of the stretch. That's not going to make him adjust too much from what he's already doing. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. The lefty has it too far outside. The right-handed batting Batterson. 2-0. Batterson flew out to left field. First time up back in the top half of the first inning. That one just misses low, and quickly 3-0. Last year we mentioned Krause just pitched 6 innings and 4 random appearances throughout the year as there's a get-me-over strike, 3-1. He did not allow an earned run, but that did not count. The outing he had in Game 2 against Ottumwa that did not end up counting against his statistics. This is popped out into center field. Seth Sarver, moving to the right center gap, is able to make the catch easily. A can of corn for the third out of the inning and the end of this top half of the third. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning. Ottumwa and Oskaloosa still knotted at 0 here on the No Coast Network.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and beyond. Whether commercial, residential, or land, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be the area's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxforts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Oskaloosa comes to bat here, bottom of the third inning. It is Keaton DeCock, the number 8 hitter, along with 9 hitter Seth Sarver, back to the top to Bennett Spry to face the pitcher Jalen Jones, right-hander for Ottumwa. Big wide open stance, and he'll take the first pitch inside, 1-0. DeCock, no official at-bats, did play in both the games. As this pitch off the outside corner to him. Quickly 2-0. Both of these teams, the way that they can play. As this pitch, and that is down the third baseline foul. 2-1. The junior Keaton DeCock, he's got a twin brother, Tanner DeCock. We see him a lot in both football and basketball. He is back on the team after a year off from high school baseball. Did get a chance to do some running. Did score 3 runs as a runner against Knoxville last night. As this is a chopper over to third. Tough hop, fielded nicely by Austin Schatz. It's throw across the diamond right on the button for the first out of this third inning for Oskaloosa. One away, that brings up Seth Sarver, the senior. Sarver had a problem with strikeouts last season as well, batted .237, .375 the on base because he was able to find ways to get himself on. Did have 9 RBIs. Did have 9 walks drawn, but did strike out 26 times, which is team high. The lefty is going to try to do a little bit better this year. He is definitely irreplaceable with his outfield range and his ability to pitch. Anything he gives you offensively is definitely going to be a bonus as the 0-1 comes to him outside. 1-1. Sarver, that token lefty bat at the bottom of the order. He's also followed by a left-handed batter in Spry, who is the leadoff batter. Here's a little ground ball, about 6 feet foul down the first base line. And it is 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out, nobody on here. Bottom of the third inning, still scoreless between Ottumwa and Oskaloosa. Weather's brightened up quite a bit. The sun deciding to peer out and bless us with some rays as a check swing and a ball in the dirt. 2-2. The slender, tall Seth Sarver had a very good football season as a cornerback. Looking to try to continue that in his final season as a high school athlete. A senior for these Indians. The 2-2. And that ball is a rope down the right field line, and that ball is going to be off the bottom of the fence. Rounding first is Sarver. He's on his way to second. He will pull up there as quickly getting it back in is Bowers. And a one-out double for Seth Sarver puts him in scoring position as the top of the order comes to the plate. That ball absolutely tattooed down the right field line. That's the kind of hitting, if Sarver's able to give you, you'll enjoy that. And now with some reliable bats coming up here in the bottom of the third, Oskaloosa looking to strike first. Jones will now pitch out of the stretch. Spry, little dribbler ground ball back, just trying to work his way on base. And he shows bunt again. This time he takes a strike at the knees. The right fielder, not the right fielder, Ryan Crosby on the right side of the infield is on the edge of the grass, and he is charging as Spry showed bunt the first time. Not showing bunt this time. A little ground ball, right side, diving play, and an underhand flip made by the second baseman, Chris Hensley, to retire Spry, but he does move the runner over to third. And with 2 outs, it's up to Nick Harrington to try to get that first run in. Sarver does have really good speed. Harrington, a solid runner as well. If Harrington is able to work his way on base, Oskaloosa will take the first lead of the ball game. Still scoreless. Runner 90 feet away is Sarver. 2 outs. The first pitch up over the letters to Harrington, 1-0. Harrington grounded over to Trayton Larkin at shortstop, first time up. Back in the first inning. Jones, the wind and the delivery. Big hack, no contact. 1-1 now the count here to Harrington. Junior Harrington turned out to be a big piece of the puzzle, as we mentioned, Arnold being, well, Harrington absolutely was, and was very unheralded going into the season, but ended up being a very good pitcher, an indispensable part of the stable that Coach Gingrich had throwing as he takes the ball here, 2-1. 2 outs, runner on third, still scoreless, bottom of the third here, game 1 of a doubleheader. We appreciate you for joining us. You're listening to us on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN, all over the world, radiokmzn.com. Line drive center field, and a nice basket catch made knee-high by Nick Batterson charging in from center field. We'll get back to that when we return. Oskaloosa gets a runner on. He is stranded at third. We'll head to the fourth. Still scoreless. Ottumwa and Oskaloosa baseball here on the No Coast Network.
Layton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Layton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Layton State Bank, serving you from Layton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
We are back, and Peyton Krause back out to work in this top of the fourth inning. He's only thrown 30 pitches through 3. He'd like to keep that kind of pace up, eat as many innings as possible. It's not innings-based anymore. It's pitch-based. It's all about trying to keep him under 65 pitches for certain, to keep him available in just a couple of days. But we'll see exactly how Coach Gingrich plays that as a 1-1 count quickly here. The number 2 hitter in the batting order. Leading off here in the top of the fourth inning, Trayton Larkin, the junior shortstop. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Austin Schott, and pitcher Jalen Jones. Jones has the only hit against Krause so far as the 1-1 popped up. And backing up is Spry. He will reach up, make the catch as Vanstra nearly bumped into him from behind as he was charging in from right field. That was one of those dangerous Bermuda Triangle plays, but the ball had enough air under it that any of those 3 players, either from second, right, or center, could have made the play. And they get their out with the second baseman Spry making the catch in the outfield grass. 1 away, nobody on for Austin Schatz. Schatz takes a strike. 0-1 the count. Shots roped one down the left field line, but Tucker Nunnikoven made an outstanding diving catch to rob Shots of extra bases back in the first inning. Just one of several plays already that have been exceptional from both defenses. Here is a line drive. Nobody's going to catch that. Right back up the pipe. And it'll be a one-out single for Schatz, and he is aboard. And Jalen Jones, who is 1 for 1, got a single little blooper down the right field line. First time up. And he is going to bat with a runner on and 1 out. 5 minutes past the top of the 6 o'clock hour. You're tuned in. You're either watching us live on RadioKMZN.com, also checking us out on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. And on the KMZN mobile app is Krause, a little fluttery pickoff throw just to keep Schatz close. If you're wondering, Schatz last season was 13 for 18 in stolen base attempts. That was second on the team in terms of successful steals, and he did go 1 for 1 on Monday against Urbandale. They're going to pay attention to him as the first delivery here is fouled out of play by Jones. Straight back over the screen. 0-1 the count. 1 out. Runner on at first. This is one of 3 television broadcasts that we will have for you. Some live streaming here from the Oskaloosa Baseball Diamond for baseball. As Schatz goes, ball 1, and the throw not in time from DeCock. It'll be a stolen base for Austin Schatz, so he finds himself in scoring position with 1 out, and a 1-1 count to Jalen Jones and a potential RBI opportunity with the runner in scoring position. Krause going to have to be careful here. Did have a runner at second a couple innings ago. Here's a chopper over to shortstop. DeYoung will make the strong throw, makes the play. Now the return throw to third base. It's in time. Excellent throw by Arnold. The tag applied by Harrington in a double play as Schatz trying to be too aggressive heading to third, and that will retire the side. Oskaloosa able to get out of a miniature jam, and we're halfway home through game number 1. It is 0-0 here on the No Coast Network.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Wake up to your favorite local programming and the best variety of classic hits. Tune in for Bob's Morning Brew from 6 to 11 on KMZN with artists like Journey, The Beatles, and Stevie Wonder. Today's news and yesterday's hits call 99.5 FM and 740 AM KMZN home, along with Oskaloosa Sports. On Sundays, tune in to Central United Methodist Church at 9 a.m. and Oops, I Missed Church at 3. 99.5 FM and 740 AM KMZN. Oskaloosa's home for today's news and yesterday's hits.
Jalen Jones going to be out there to face the heart of the Indian Order. Bottom of the 4th inning, still scoreless. Both teams' defenses doing them favors throughout this game with the runner on second and 1 out. A ground out over to Alex DeYoung, who made a nice strong throw over to first. Austin Schatz, the runner at second for Ottumwa, attempted to go to third. Ethan Arnold, very aware, threw it back over an accurate throw to Nick Harrington, who applied the tag to get Oskaloosa out of the inning. It is Arnold digging in. Bloop single. Straightaway center field. First time up in the first. He'll take a strike right on the black of the plate on the inside corner, 0-1. Jones looking strong so far. As mentioned, he's gotten plenty of help from his defense as well. There is an inside pitch that Arnold turns on. Fouls it off, 0-2. Coming into this frame, Jones at 38 pitches. He's at 40 at the moment. 45 will make it 2 days rest at least, but the way Ottumwa threw their guys, as there's a called third strike right at the knees, maybe the best pitch of the sequence, froze Arnold on 0-2, and that is the first strikeout recorded by Jalen Jones in this one. And he gets it of the looking variety, 1 away, and that'll bring up Blake Van Veldhuizen, the junior DH. We mentioned once you get past 45 pitches, the next magic number is 65. And that, of course, all depends on how many days rest you have to take. As this is a ground ball over to short. It is fielded, handcuffed Larkin, and by the time he's able to get it over to first base, Van Veldhuizen is going to have it beat out. So many great plays by Larkin so far in this game, but that time right there, that hop kind of handcuffed him. He didn't get it in the webbing of his glove, unable to fully grasp it. It ended up falling back onto the dirt and allowed Van Veldhuizen to hustle down the line for what will go in the book as an error on the shortstop, Trayton Larkin. With a runner on first and 1 out, it's Peyton Krause. Going to have a pinch runner. Going to be entering the game here, Casey Hill. So Casey Hill, the sophomore over there at first base. Much like softball, you get one re-entry for everybody except the pitcher and catcher, who can be courtesy ran for. Out of the stretch, the first pitch is fouled straight out of play by Kraus, 0-1. He grounded out to Trayton Larkin back in the second in his first break. Long look over at first. Hill, a decent lead. Out of the stretch, the pitch is in the dirt. 1-1 here to Kraus. If you're looking on the other side, the defense being very efficient. Only 38 pitches through 4 innings for Kraus on the mound, which will allow him to keep going as long as he's pitching well. There the runner goes, and it's a hit and run executed to perfection. Hill will now make the turn after stuttering. Here's the throw from right, not going to be in time, and an excellent job by Peyton Kraus executing that hit and run to perfection. Hill was nearly at second base. I thought it was a little sketchy maybe sending him to third, but it was such a perfect hit and run. Coach Gingrich told him to come even after he slowed down coming around second. The throw from Bowers in right field just wasn't in time, and Kraus able to get himself on base. He'll be run for as well. Runner at third, Casey Hill, after the beautiful hit and run. Up the plate is Alex DeYoung. Throw over to first to check on Tyler Miller. Miller is a freshman, but as an 8th grader last year, really did some damage with his speed on the base pass, scoring a lot of runs as a runner. Also did outstanding work in the outfield with the range he was able to cover. So many different outfielders that Coach Gingrich could use as that pitch misses. 1-0 to Alex DeYoung. DeYoung lined out to the left fielder, Alec Hensley, who made a nice sliding catch running in. There goes the runner, and here's a little chopper over to third. The only play is to first base, and he's able to get DeYoung, but because the ball hit right down that third base line, no chance for the runner, Hill, to advance. Miller does get to second. He was off with the pitch anyway. 5-3 the ground out to DeYoung, and with 2 outs now, you have runners on second and third, and it's Tucker Nunnekoven, another premier scoring opportunity here for Oskaloosa. Jones winds now and fires, and that's in the dirt. Good block by Tyler Ward. That's going to be important. He stays on his game. Nunnekoven was robbed by his counterpart in left field, Alec Hensley, on a fantastic diving play coming towards the left field line. That was back in the second. Here in the bottom of the fourth, we're scoreless. Here's the 1-0 from Jalen Jones, and that breaking ball is in there for a strike. 1-1. Two outs, 2 on. Runners on second and third. Great speed with Tyler Miller at second and Casey Hill over at third. Now switching it up, going slide step. Here's a line drive out in the left, right at Hensley. Couldn't have hit it harder, but just hit it to the wrong spot. And Nunnekoven has tattooed it a couple times and not have anything to show for it. Oskaloosa gets a pair on in scoring position, but cannot plate either of them. And through 4, we're still scoreless. 0-0 between Ottumwa and Oskaloosa right here on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early. Illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
We head to the top of the 5th. This game has been all about pitching and defense. The base runners have done a fairly decent job just trying to take advantage of where they can. It's worked out a little bit better for Oski than it has for Ottumwa in that regard, but both teams have exhibited outstanding defense for the most part all over the diamond. Great execution, but neither side has been able to play to run. 2 hits against Peyton Krause, who's only thrown 38 pitches through 4 innings. He'll be facing Alec Hensley, who's been a defensive stud out there in left field for Ottumwa. He'll be followed by Tyler Ward and Wyatt Crosby as the first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Hensley, first time up, flew out into right center field. The ball that was caught by Seth Sarver. That one, good frame job by DeCock, right off the outside corner, brought back over it, 0-2 the count. Nobody out, nobody on for the right-handed batting Alec Hensley. One of the many seniors Ottumwa is fielding on this year's ball club as this ball popped straight up in the air. It's on the infield. Who's going to have it? It is going to be Ethan Arnold, who's going to be able to make the play. And that will be out number 1. A little bit of confusion there. Nobody was really covering first should that ball have dropped. Not that anybody would have needed to, as Hensley was basically sitting there waiting for somebody to try to catch that ball. But those are the kind of things that Coach Gingrich will see. He'll be able to tell guys where they need to be on a play like that, who should be in charge of making the catch. With 1 out, nobody on, the first pitch in there for a strike to Tyler Ward. And this Peyton Krause we're seeing throwing right now is as strong a Peyton Krause as we've seen throw in his entire career. He was able to be a scrappy guy when he was an underclassman as he throws another called strike in. 0-2 here to Ward. Last year we mentioned kind of wasn't much of a factor throwing. Only 6 total innings of work on the mound all of last year. Not that Oskaloosa needed a whole lot of help because of how well players like Joe Sterner and Ryan Yates, Nick Harrington came on. As guys you weren't sure exactly how much they were going to be able to give you pitching. They ended up being fantastic. Krause, you almost liked him at first base anyways. It's now 2-2. Here's the pitch. This ball fouled straight back out of play. Still 2-2. Ward, in his first at-bat, grounded over to the shortstop, Alex DeYoung. The 2-2 on the way. And that ball is lifted out into center field. Sarver a couple of steps to his right, and then he'll settle under it for the out. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Wyatt Crosby. So far this inning, 9 pitches have been thrown. We are over that 45-pitch mark, which is one of the benchmarks in terms of days of rest, which means that the earliest at this point Krause could be used again would be Saturday. But at this point, with as many arms as you have for Oskaloosa, you could probably go even past that 65-pitch benchmark if he's still throwing this strong. First pitch, a called strike. He's working quickly. There's a foul straight back, 0-2 here to Crosby, who struck out swinging. The only strikeout recorded by Krause so far in the game. I mean, he's in a rhythm, you can tell, as the sun continues to shine and cover up 90% of this field. As that ball is hammered down the left field line, but out in foul territory, Nunnikoven with that speed makes an easy running catch out of it. And another quick 1-2-3 inning recorded by Peyton Krause, showing that he definitely will be a factor in the Oski pitching staff here in 2017. Through 4.5, Oskaloosa will bat again in the 5th, looking to try to figure out Jalen Jones right here on the No Coast Network.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Center Mall, Oskaloosa.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Oskaloosa going to try to be the first to score. They've had a couple of premier scoring opportunities, but Jalen Jones has done fantastic jobs each inning, and Oskaloosa's threatened to keep the scoreless tie. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Indians here. Coach Gingrich going to try I mean, he's tried all sorts of cool things. Bunt hit attempts, hit and runs, things that have been executed pretty well. Indians just haven't been able to scratch across the run against Jones, who has been good so far as the first pitch up high 1-0. Jones, 50 pitches thrown thus far through 4 innings of work. Much like his counterpart Peyton Krause, still very efficient in his pitching thus far. Only 1 strikeout, actually, against Ethan Arnold last inning in the 4th. Only 1 strikeout recorded as well by Krause, as that's inside. Is quickly 3-0 now here to Keaton DeCock, the number 8 hitter for the Indians, who grounded to third. First time up back in the 3rd inning. He digs in. Long look. Now he'll wind and deliver. And that hits the knees for a strike, 3-1. Seth Sarver on deck. Bennett Spry in the hole for Oskaloosa in this 5th inning. 0-0 our score. It's Ottumwa and Oskaloosa. This is DeCock. Hits it into the air toward the gap. Now backing up is Alec Hensley, able to secure the ball, which he has done several times throughout the game. Kind of took a little interesting route with that one, but it was not hit as hard as you may have thought from the sound. A little closer to the end of the bat than the sweet spot, and allowed Hensley to make an adjustment in his route as the ball was getting close to. Made the play for the first out of this 5th inning. 1 away. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Seth Sarver, who has the only extra base hit of the evening. He takes a strike here, 0-1. 0-1 with 1 out, nobody on. Sarver doubled off the base of the wall in right field. The pitch. Outside. Sarver eventually would find his way to third base, where he was stranded there back in that 3rd inning. The 1-1 here from Jalen Jones on the way. That one bounces in. 2 balls, 1 strike to the Indian center fielder. Jones, the slow windup, and the 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. If these two, Krause and Jones, continue to do what they're doing, both of their coaches are going to be very pleased with the production they were gaining for the price of pitches. This is a ground ball fielded easily by Crosby. 2 steps to the bag over at first, and that is the out. 3 unassisted. It's a good play on that tough short hop by Wyatt Crosby down the first base line. And with 2 outs and nobody on, it'll be Bennett Spry to try to start a 2-out rally here for the Indians. He's grounded out a couple of times. Back in the 1st on a bunt hit attempt, and then back in the 3rd, grounded out to his counterpart at second base, Chris Hensley. Also successfully moved a runner along in that instance, but it was all for naught as the Indians couldn't score. 1-0 to him here, the left-handed bat. A reliable bat, and he ropes this one down the right field line, a base hit, and can the right fielder cut it off? He does. Good job by Dalton Bowers to make sure that Spry doesn't have a chance to utilize his speed. If that would have gotten by him, Spry may have been thinking not only just 2, but potentially 3. And he is on, right on cue. The reliable Spry at first base with Nick Harrington, the number 2 hitter, up. Now this is a prime opportunity potentially for Spry to maybe take it off to second base. He is a fantastic base runner, a good base stealer. 2 for 2 so far in the young season. Last year went 24 of 26 running the bases. Crosby is covering. But we'll see if Coach Gingrich gets a little aggressive here with the number 2 hitter up. First pitch, he is off and running. First pitch is a strike. And what an outstanding play by second baseman Chris Hensley. That throw looked destined to go to right field. Instead, he was able to snag it and put a Javier Baez tag on him as Spry slid into second. And instead, Spry is cut down for the first time this year. Now 2 for 3 on the year in stolen base attempts. Krause back to the bump after the break as we head to the 6th. Still scoreless, Ottumwa and Oskaloosa baseball here on the No Coast Network.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and beyond. Whether commercial, residential, or land, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be the area's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxforts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Chris Hensley, fresh off making a fantastic play to tag out the attempted steal from Bennett Spry. And he will lead off here, the number 8 hitter for Ottumwa against Peyton Krause, who delivers yet another strike, 0-1. Hensley followed by number 9 hitter Dalton Bowers, and then back to the top, and Nick Batterson for the Bulldogs. Top of the 6th is 0-0 our score. The big breaker stays high. 1-1. Hensley popped up right in front of home plate. Krause himself was able to make the catch. Here's the 1-1. That ball is hit hard into left center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Sarver able to get to it and get it back in, but a leadoff single here for Hensley. Dalton Bowers now the number 9 hitter. He lined out to Bennett Spry, who was playing closer toward the middle. He's going to move to that same spot once again, Will Spry. They had him played perfectly last time. We'll see if they'll be able to do that again. 53 pitches thrown by Krause here, and we're in the 6th. It's a quick pickoff throw, not in time. Nice lead over there at first base by Hensley. Not going. There's the bunt attempt, and it is foul. Have to do it again. So with Hensley at first, pretty obvious opportunity here for Coach Yeager for Ottumwa to move a runner into scoring position with a couple of opportunities to knock him home with the top of his order. The number 9 hitter Bowers just going to have to execute here. 0-1 the count. Nobody out, and that runner on at first. The pitch, showing butt, pulling back, taking ball 1 up around the eyes is Bowers. We mentioned the pitch count is going to be a big topic of discussion each and every baseball game we do. And there's a strike, throw behind the runner at first. Unable to get the out. With 2 strikes now, likely Bauer is going to be calling the bunt off. Here's the kick and the pitch. That one's in the dirt. Good stop there by DeCock, 2-2. 63 degrees right now. Beautiful night for some baseball as the skies have definitely cleared here. Maybe a wee bit chilly, but it'll work. Is this a ground ball softly over to second? Spry tries the tag, unable to get it done, but they do get the out at first. Spry tried really hard to be able to make that tag at second base. Coach Gingrich comes out, asks the base umpire what he saw. And, I mean, and not really, there's really no way to have the home plate umpire overrule that call, but Coach Gingrich is just going to ask for a further explanation. Spry tried to field the ball, and as soon as he grabbed it, lifted the glove up, made contact, or tried to make contact with the runner going to second, Hensley. Unable to do so. The base umpire was on it immediately, said safe. Then Spry reacted quickly enough to get Bowers out at first base. And what turns out to be just as good as a sacrifice bunt, even though it was a little unconventional for Bowers. So a runner on second and 1 out for the top of the order, and Nick Batterson for Ottumwa. Here is the first pitch, and in there on the inside corner for a strike here at Batterson, 0-1. Batterson has flown out a couple of times. 1 to left field, 1 to center. 0-1 the count to him with 1 out, and a runner on at second base. This one bounces in the dirt. And DeCock fields it. A late throw over to third base, probably ill-advised. Harrington does a good job just coming off the bag to make sure that he has a hold of it. It'll go down in the book as a wild pitch. But DeCock's got to be a little bit wiser with that. Does not want to compound the mistake on the pitch with a bad throw. Here's a little chopper right back to the mound. Krause throws over to first, and plenty of time after stirring the runner back to third, and that's a huge out on a ground Ball right back to Kraus. Makes a smart play, looks right back at Hensley, keeps him at third, and has plenty of time to get to Speedy Batterson on his way down to first base. So with 2 away, it now falls into the lap of Trayton Larkin, who's been a defensive stud at shortstop, even though he committed an error midway through this game that didn't turn out to hurt Ottumwa at all. And Hensley's going to be lifted for a runner. It is going to be Connor Riley. So Connor Riley's going to come in as a pinch runner, maybe a little bit quicker on a ball that gets away from DeCock behind home plate. You would figure that would be the only real reason you would need to make that adjustment right First pitch, a strike from Kraus, 0-1. Larkin, ground out to third, a pop out in a shallow right center field that was caught by Spry, the second baseman. Connor Riley at third base, representing potentially the first run of the game, still scoreless. 0-1 the count, 2 outs the pitch. That's inside and low. DeCock has to be sure-handed there. 1-1 the count. Larkin digs back in. This pitch just off the inside corner. 2-1. Austin Schatz, the best bat in this order. He was also the best bat in this order last year. He is in the odd deck circle. You'd love to not have to face him to get out of this jam here in this top of the 6th inning. The game barely an hour old. Here's the 2-1, kick in the pitch. And a late swing there, and fouling it out of play right side is the right-handed batting Trayton Larkin. So now, 2-2, an opportunity for Peyton Kraus and the Indian defense to get out of the jam unscathed. The 2-2 on the way, and it drops just missing. A big breaker. Looked like he had Larkin fooled, but just missed the strike zone. And the payoff. Well outside, and Schatz is going to get a chance to bat as the first walk of the game issued by Kraus comes here with 2 outs in this top of the 6th inning. Kraus has already eclipsed the 65 pitch mark. We mentioned Oski probably wouldn't need him until next week anyway, so the pitch count not really a factor in this particular instance. But Coach Gingrich goes out anyways to try to talk to his team, his infielders, try to make sure anything and everything is talked about here. The Indians, a smart defensive team. They know what the situation is. Coach Gingrich now goes back to the Indian dugout. And Peyton Kraus knows he's got the best Bulldog hitter coming to the plate, Austin Schatz, who was robbed of extra bases on a diving catch by Nunakoven in left field down the line. And then singled right back up the middle on a line drive in the 4th. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. First pitch on the way, well outside, 1-0. And you start to think Kraus, who threw all of 6 innings a year ago, might be feeling a little bit of fatigue here with his first start of the year. The kick and the pitch. That's a strike at the knees, 1-1. Schatz, the right-handed bat, a senior, a leader on this team. Would love to try to put this team up here in the 6th inning. Is it in the dirt, blocked nicely by DeCock. No advancement from either runner. But it does give Schatz the advantage here with 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 2-1. It's a big swing and a miss. 2-2. And now, once again, an opportunity with 2 strikes to get out of the frame. The kick, the 2-2, runner goes just off the outside corner. They let the runner have second base, and now with a 3-2 count. The stolen base makes it ducks in the pond. 3-2 the count, payoff, 2 outs, 2 on. And this ball hit high in the air, deep center field. Sarver turns his back and watches it hit the fence. 2 runs will score. Sarver gets it back in. Austin Schatz comes through. A 2-run double for Ottumwa with 2 outs in the 6th. And the Bulldogs have a 2-0 lead here. Unbelievable clutch hitting by Austin Schatz. A good walk as well on a full count pitch by Trayton Larkin. Larkin takes second on ball 3. And Schatz comes through with the big knock. on a ball that was tattooed out in right center field. And right back up the gut for a base hit on the first pitch to Jones. Shots is being waved around. Here comes the throw, cut off by Arnold. The throw not going to be in time, and a third run will score as Jalen Jones helps out his own cause with an RBI single up the middle. So Ottumwa getting to Kraus here in the sixth, third time through the order. So the Ottumwa offense coming through. They scored all of one run against Urbandale on Monday. That not the case here, as the courtesy runner Riley Robinson comes back in to run for Jones, as Alec Hensley will come to the plate, and Coach Gingrich is going to come out, and he is going to make a pitching change. We will take a break. As he makes the change, Ottumwa has scored 3 times and still has a inning alive. 2 outs in the sixth, 3-0 Ottumwa. We'll be back with the pitching change after this on the No Coast Network.
Lighton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Lighton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Lighton State Bank, serving you from Lighton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
Welcome back, as Bennett Spry is the man who's gotten the call. Spry last season, 4 starts, 8 relief appearances, 3-2 his record, a 6.00 ERA, which is not necessarily indicative of how well he pitched at times throughout the season. Opponents hit .273 against him. He did have 28 strikeouts, but led the team, allowing 27 walks. He also hit 5 batters, so that's something he's going to have to clean up. Of course, he did not throw yesterday against Knoxville, and he is being called in to try to get through this little jam. A runner on first and 2 outs. Ottumwa's already plated 3 runs in the inning thus far off of Peyton Kraus. As coming into the game to replace Kraus is Ryan Yates, who took over for Spry at second base. The runner at first base, Riley Robinson, running for Jalen Jones. First pitch, a strike from Spry, the right-handed pitcher. 0-1. Got head coach Jay Harms from the Oskaloosa softball team will be joining us next half inning. Talk softball with us. 3-0 score against the Indians here, but they have threatened a few times. We'll see if they're able to do something with Jalen Jones out there at the plate next inning. Top of the 6th, 3-0 the score. 1-1 the count with 2 outs. Runner on first. Here's the kick. Spry delivers low and away, and it is 2-1. Hensley in this game so far, 0 for 2, flew out to center and popped out to the first baseman. Ethan Arnold. Arnold remains at first base. Normal lead over at first by Robinson, and they'll throw pickoff throw. Keep him close. He dives back in safely. Game just over an hour old. Peyton Kraus, 5 2/3 innings of work, 5 hits allowed, a walk, a strikeout through 73 pitches in the game. And he's responsible for Robinson over at first base. Here's a little nubber into center field. A running catch, and now falling is Seth Sarver. He makes the play to retire the side. So Spry gets it done, but Ottumwa's bats come alive. A 2-out double for 2 runs by Austin Schatz and an RBI single by Jalen Jones to plate Schatz has made it 3-0 Ottumwa, heading to the bottom of the 6th on the No Coast Network.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Wake up to your favorite local programming and the best variety of classic hits. Tune in for Bob's Morning Brew from 6 to 11 on KMZN with artists like Journey, The Beatles, and Stevie Wonder. Today's news and yesterday's hits call 99.5 FM and 740 AM KMZN home, along with Oskaloosa Sports. On Sundays, tune in to Central United Methodist Church at 9 a.m. and Oops, I Missed Church at 3. 99.5 FM and 740 AM KMZN. Oskaloosa's home for today's news and yesterday's hits.
Welcome back in. Emery Sunger with you as we head into the bottom of the sixth inning. Oskaloosa trailing Ottumwa 3-0. And then throughout this next half inning, we'll be joined by head softball coach Oskaloosa, defending state champion softball coach Jay Harms. Coach Harms, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Kind of nice being up here and looking out over and watching the baseball guys.
We'll get to your team in just a second as Nick Harrington digs in 2-3-4 for the Indians to face Jalen Jones, who now has been spotted a 3-run lead. Ottumwa putting 3 runs off of Peyton Krause in the top half of this sixth inning. And the first pitch, a ball, 1-0 to Harrington, who's 0 for 2 in the game. Your girls off to a solid start this season, a 2-0 start for them as well. Obviously coming off a state championship, what could you possibly do to duplicate that this year?
Well, every year is a new year, and we told our kids that the other day when we opened up at Albia that we liked what we did last year. It was a great ride, great run, but it's a new season now, so that's all over. Nobody can take that away from us, but now we just got to go ahead and get ready for a new season and hopefully have another successful run this year.
1-2 here to Harrington, bases empty with nobody out. Bottom of the sixth, Ottumwa leading Oskaloosa. There's a called third strike, and Harrington goes down. Second strikeout recorded by Jones, and he is now over that 65 pitch count mark, so he'll be free to finish this game if he's able to. One thing I noticed, we had a lot of question marks, a lot of new players and new places in that Albia game that we were broadcasting, and same old for the Oskaloosa Indians. Alexis Groot pitched a fantastic game as Ethan Arnold looks at strike one here. She pitched a fantastic game. You had some good outfield play by Chloe Blossard. You had a fantastic shortstop game from Maddie Haynes, who we'll see from time to time. What did you think from the new players that we're seeing step into some big shoes?
Well, yeah, that game we had a little bit different look than what we really thought going into the season that we would have. But I thought the kids that went out there and played really did a nice job that evening. And then last night also against Knoxville, we made some plays, and so that's good to see that we have some depth. Right now our bats, are a little silent. We're not hitting the ball real well. I think we're hitting 241 as a team, but we're 2-0, and we talked today with our kids, we'd rather be 2-0 hitting 241 than hitting 421 and being 0-2. So our bats have come around. We've got some good hitters, and we're a little bit undisciplined here early in the first 2 ball games. So we had some bad pitches, but we're just anxious, we were anxious to get the season started, and we'll get that taken care of, and I think we'll have a very good hitting ball club again this year.
Ground out right back to the pitcher for Ethan Arnold for the second out, and it's Blake Van Veldhuizen, and he'll chop the 0-1 pitch to the hole. What a fantastic backhanded play. The spin, the throw, what a play. Trayton Larkin is an absolute star over at shortstop for these Ottumwa Bulldogs. Coach, hang around for another half inning?
Sure.
All right, we'll head to the seventh. Oskaloosa going to try to hold Ottumwa where they are as the Bulldogs have a 3-0 lead as we go to the seventh here on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early. Illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Into the seventh, Bennett Spry going to try to keep the Ottumwa offense locked down as they'll send up 6, 7, and 8. It'll be Tyler Ward, Wyatt Crosby, and Chris Hensley to face Spry. Ottumwa leading 3-0 here in game one of a doubleheader. Emery Sunger being joined now once again by Coach Jay Harms for the Oskaloosa softball team as we talk about their success and what they have coming up is the first pitch of ball here to Ward. He's 0 for 2, a ground out to short and a fly out to center. Coach, one thing that I also find very intriguing is the fact that we can see a lot of W's on both the baseball and softball side. The last couple of years have been very good for that, but this year, both teams with really high aspirations, not only to have good seasons within their conference, but also to try to make it to that state tournament, whether it's Fort Dodge or in Des Moines.
Yeah, you're right, and Coach Gingrich has done a great job, with the baseball team, really getting the program back up and running. And boy, I look for big things from this baseball team this season. I think this is a group that can really make a great run. I mean, they've made 2 great runs the last 2 years and run into kind of a nemesis over there. But I think this is going to be their year.
The called third strike. Spry gets his first strikeout of the season. Got Ward looking for the first out here of the 7th. Of course, we play 7 innings here in baseball and softball at the high school level. In the non-conference, as there's a strike, 0-1 to Wyatt Crosby, who struck out swinging in the second against Krause and flew out down the left field line in foul territory to Nunnikov a couple of innings ago. He'll chop this one over to third, fielded by Harrington. He'll make a strong throw over to first in time, quickly 2 away. With those W's being the case, you were able to accomplish the ultimate goal. How was this entire, off season for you? When you're waiting for the summer to come back around, you get, a solid 7 or 8 months before you really start getting dug back into practice. But it must be good to be simmering on a state championship.
Well, like we talked, I think, at the end of the season last year, we had a little wrap-up. I remember coming out and talking to you, and the community was just so great, the support that we had at Fort Dodge, and people really got involved, and the congratulations that I got from all over the state of Iowa, from coaches and people that I've been associated with and had contacts with, and yeah, it was just great, and you got them for a long time, went way into the winter. I was still hearing people talking about it and just how happy they were for the girls and for the community and the coaching staff. And so yeah, it was really special, and it's something that I always tell the kids, something that you never take away from you. This is always going to be there. And just what a great week it was in Fort Dodge. You were up there that we had, and boy, it just couldn't have been any more special than what that was.
Yeah, something I'll never forget, that's for sure, is Hensley on an 0-2 count, going to flare it out into right field for a base hit, and he is aboard with 2 outs. Now I'll bring up number 9 hitter Dalton Bowers. Hensley now 2 for 3 out of that number 8 spot as Bowers digs in. And one thing that I find very intriguing is the fact that you have so many softball players who are now looking to play at the next level, whether it's at DMAC with Alexis Groot, Indian Hills like Aubrey Miller, Alexis Westerkamp, and a lot of good young players that are looking to kind of work their way into the fold, which makes it very exciting. Kind of a pipeline you have here and keeping these girls really interested. But now the volleyball team, the basketball team, just got a new girls basketball coach, J.C. White, who will be in the Hy-Vee home stretch tomorrow night. It's a good time to be an Indian right now, and the one thing that they're going to remember first and foremost is that state championship. Is a ground ball right back to Spry, makes the throw over to first. Coach, one more half inning? Can I talk
Okay, yep, we can write her out.
All right, so Bowers grounds right back to Spry. That'll end the top of the 7th. Oskaloosa baseball down 3-0, and we'll be back with the bottom of the 7th as the Indians have 3 outs to try to come back here on the No Coast Network.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Center Mall, Oskaloosa.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
It'll be Yates, DeYoung, and Tucker Nunnikoven as Yates will bat for Peyton Krause, who was replaced. Krause was 1 for 2 at the plate and was replaced in the pitching, or he was replaced as a pitcher by Bennett Spry. Yates came into the game defensively for him, and he'll take a strike here from Jalen Jones, looking to wrap up a complete game here for Ottumwa as the Bulldogs lead at 3-0 as Yates, the right-handed batter, digs in against the righty Jones outside. 1-1. Still here with Coach Jay Harms. Coach, just real quick, and we'll get you out of here. What do you have this next couple of weeks that you're going to be looking at, kind of circling those dates to kind of see where your team's at?
Well, again, we've got some injuries. Last night, Aubrey Miller kind of tweaked her quad, and we're thinking about holding her out for the next 5 ball games, just trying to get her healthy before we start our conference play next Wednesday when we will open up at home, be our first home game with the Grinnell Tigers coming over. So we're just kind of trying to see and get everybody healthy and get them going. But, yeah, we've got, 5 games left we have 3 games left this week where we go to CMB tomorrow night, a team that, was in the state tournament last year and got 2 really quality pitchers. That'll be a tough ball game. And then we'll travel to Williamsburg on Saturday for a couple non-conference games up there with English Valley and Bondurant. And then open up at home next Wednesday against Grinnell. But we also got DCG next week. Then we have our first Classic. So we've got a lot of ball games here coming up in the next couple weeks.
A ground out by Ryan Yates. Right back to the pitcher, Jalen Jones, and quickly 0-2 here to DeYoung. We'll have a lot of those games on our airwaves, and we'll also be televising both of your Indian Classics, the Oskaloosa Softball Classic, the Indian Softball Classic, both at Lacey this year. We'll have the camera crew there, and hope for dry weather for those, as that one in the dirt. Good dig by Tyler Ward. It's 1-2 to the junior Alex DeYoung. Now, last question for you, Coach. Who are a couple of young players, we don't know their names yet, in the community that you think are going to be major players for your team as you look to repeat?
Well, I think that you've seen there's a ball drilled good. Got a good jump on it, though.
Yeah, that left fielder, Alec Hensley, makes the catch for the second out, and he has been unbelievable as well defensively in this game. But give me a couple of young players.
We've got right now we actually have 3 8th graders on the varsity, and you're going to see Abby Braunmeyer and Haley Hacker, 2 young pitchers on our staff that they're going to have to throw varsity because, with the double headers we're going to go in the conference one time through the conference this year. We need another pitcher. We lost a great one in Kylie Silliman, and it would have been nice to have her this year with that set up in the conference, but we don't, so we have to throw some young ones in there, and people are going to see them, and they're just going to get better. It's going to take some time. They're going to have to be patient with those 2 girls, but they're going to be a couple of good pitchers by the time they're done with their careers here in Oskaloosa. And of course, you've already seen Maddie Haynes, who we stuck at shortstop. Maddie came in as a second baseman, and we moved her to shortstop during the season, at the start of the season, actually our first few practices, and she's really done a great job filling in. And as we said, we've had some injuries. We've had our lineup kind of not what we really want it to be yet, so we're going to be kind of fishing a little bit and playing some different combinations here and these probably next 5 ball games or so. But I think once we get everybody back and get them where we want to be, I think that this group can have a very successful season and play the kind of softball that we think that we can play throughout the course of this softball season.
2-2 here to Tucker Nunnakoven with 2 outs and nobody on. Coach Harms, thanks so much for joining us here up here as we finish this game out. Oski looking to still come back down to the last strike that is popped up by Nunnakoven. Always fun, but Coach, we'll be checking back in with you next week.
Okay, thanks a lot, Emery.
That is Coach Jay Harms, the Oskaloosa Indian softball team, and we'll be following them all season long as well as the baseball team, as we talked about. But first and foremost, we still have some action here for you. A ball game with Tucker Nunnakoven at the plate, still 2-2, 2 outs, and the base is empty. Oski down 3-0. Jalen Jones looking to finish what he started. Check swing, he went around. They're going to throw it down to first base, and that'll retire the side in the ball game. Jalen Jones, an outstanding complete game shutout for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. Only 3 strikeouts needed, but he did a fantastic job in getting Ottumwa their first win of the season and handing Oskaloosa their first loss of the year. It is 3-0 in the final. We'll take a break, come back with the final stats right here on the No Coast Network.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and beyond. Whether commercial, residential, or land, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be the area's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxforts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Lighton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Lighton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Lighton State Bank, serving you from Lighton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Time Out to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Wake up to your favorite local programming and the best variety of classic hits. Tune in for Bob's Morning Brew from 6 to 11 on KMZN with artists like Journey, The Beatles, and Stevie Wonder. Today's news and yesterday's hits call 99.5 FM and 740 AM KMZN Home, along with Oskaloosa Sports. On Sundays, tune in to Central United Methodist Church at 9 a.m. and Oops, I Missed Church at 3. 99.5 FM and 740 AM KMZN, Oskaloosa's home for today's news and yesterday's hits.
Welcome back. Final score of game number one. Ottumwa defeats Oskaloosa 3-0. Ottumwa moves to 1-2 on the year, and Oskaloosa is 2-1. Their first loss coming here due to a fantastic outing by Jalen Jones, the junior for Ottumwa, who goes complete game, 4 hits, shutout, 3 strikeouts, no walks, unreal. Game time, 1 hour, 21 minutes. Ottumwa 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 defensive error with 3 left on base. Oskaloosa, no runs on 4 hits, no errors, 4 left on. Jones got the win. Peyton Krause, the unfortunate loss, but he pitched very well as well in his first outing of the season. As mentioned, game time, 1 hour, 21 minutes. For the Bulldogs offensively, Nick Batterson 0 for 3. Trayton Larkin 0 for 2 with a run scored. Austin Schatz went 2 for 3 with a run scored. 2 RBIs, the big 2-run double with 2 outs in the 6th inning helped get Ottumwa on the scoreboard. He was followed by Jalen Jones, who went 2 for 3. Also had an RBI single in that 6th inning. Kinsley went 0 for 3, but he was outstanding in left field. Tyler Ward was 0 for 3. Wyatt Crosby 0 for 3. Chris Hensley went 2 for 3. Pinch runner Connor Riley scored a run in that spot. And Dalton Bowers went 0 for 3. Jalen Jones, 7 great innings of work, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. 85 pitches, 54 for strikes, 31 for balls, an outstanding effort from him. On the Oskaloosa side of things, Bennett Spry went 1 for 3. Nick Harrington 0 for 3. Ethan Arnold 1 for 3. Blake Van Veldhuizen went 0 for 3. Peyton Krause went 1 for 2. Ryan Yates 0 for 1 in that spot. Alex DeYoung went 0 for 3. Tucker Nunnikov 0 for 3. Keaton DeCock 0 for 2. And Seth Starver went 1 for 2 with a double. Peyton Krause, a good start, but ended up running out of steam in the 6th inning. He went 5 2/3, 5 hits allowed, 3 runs. All 3 were earned with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. 73 pitches for him, 46 strikes and 27 balls for Spry. Bennett Spry, who came on in relief, an inning and a third of work, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout with 14 pitches thrown, 11 strikes, and just 3 balls. That is the end of game number 1. Game number 2 will be coming up in about 15 minutes or so, and we'll be right back after a little bit of a break as we will be rejoining you on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN, all over the world on radio, KMZN.com with our live video stream, also heard on the KMZN app. We appreciate you for joining us. We'll be back in about 15 minutes or so for game number 2 right here on the No Coast Network.